From Westminster High School in Westminster, California, it's the Ball is Life Weekly Showcase, the first of many Sunday broadcasts featuring many of the top high school players on the West Coast. We're at the League, presented by Compton Magic. This afternoon, it's Rancho Christain against Sierra Canyon. Hello again, everybody. I'm Paul Westfall. Alongside me is Hall of Fame basketball writer Frank Burleson. And, of course, what we want you to be involved in these broadcasts as well. So we're going to feature many polling questions throughout the broadcast today, and we want you to participate. So pay attention to those polling questions and don't hesitate to get yourself involved in the broadcast today. Now, Frank, we've got a lot of Division I talent on both sides. Let's start with Rancho Christain, and they've got an exceptional player in Isaiah Mobley.
Yes, Paul, and Isaiah Mobley is a 6'8 junior, twice an All-CIF selection player for the Eagles of Coach Ray Bearfield, one of the most heavily recruited power forwards in the class in the country. 4.0 student, so that's why you have people like Stanford looking at Isaiah.
Very nice, and of course for Sierra Canyon, it's a whole new team for Sierra Canyon. Everybody's gone, but they brought in a lot of good players, and one that catches everybody's eyes is Duane Washington.
Yes, with the 5 starters from last year, all at major colleges right now, 7 transfers. Duane Washington may be the best, or one of the 2 best of those transfers, at least with Cassius Stanley, but Duane Washington from Grand Rapids, Michigan Christian High School, already committed to Ohio State, now becomes one of the best guards in California after transfer.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups if we can. First, let's look at Rancho Christain. They'll open up with Stephen Park, Jordan Montgomery at the guards. Isaiah Mobley and his brother Evan Mobley are the forwards, and Isaiah Knox is the third guard. Let's take a look at Sierra Canyon's starting lineup. For Sierra Canyon, it's Adili Kuerban at the shooting forward, Scottie Pippen Jr. at one guard, KJ Martin is the power forward, Terren Frank is the center, and Duane Washington is the point guard. That's the starting lineup for Sierra Canyon and the Trailblazers. We're just about ready for the opening tip-off. This should be fun. A lot of high-level talent. This game will be played end-to-end all game long. We'll be back with the opening tip-off of Rancho Christain and Sierra Canyon in just a moment. We're back at Westminster High School. We're in Westminster, California for the Ball is Life Weekly Showcase at the League, presented by Compton Magic. I'm Paul Westfall. Alongside me is Basketball Hall of Fame writer Frank Burleson. And Frank, a lot of talent as we discussed in the open, but I think the fans are going to be surprised at how quality basketball is played even though we're nowhere near the regular season.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Paul, we've got probably 7, 8, 9 potential guys we'll be watching on the major college level 1 or 2 or 3 years from now. And again, not only outstanding individual talent, Paul, but these are 2 of the teams that could be competing for not only Southern Regional Open Division spots, but potentially state, CIF, and state championships.
All right, let's take a look at some of your keys to victory for both squads tonight. Let's start with Rancho Christain.
Yeah, I think Rancho Christain has to handle the full court pressure that we saw Sierra Canyon put on Centennial earlier today and not turn the ball over and let Sierra Canyon get dunks, and also make it a half-court game pounded inside to the Mobley brothers.
And for Sierra Canyon, what do they got to do today?
Sierra Canyon wants to be able to make it a fast point game, get it out in transition, get dunks and wide open jumpers, and then keep the Mobleys from dominating the game inside with their vastly superior size over Sierra Canyon.
Yeah, easier said than done. If you've not seen the Mobleys play before, they are really electric, multi-skilled, big players, and so they really can play pretty much any position out there. Should be good fun. Sierra Canyon is going to be in their white uniforms with the navy trim, and while Rancho Christain is going to be in the dark blue uniforms with the white numerals, and we're just waiting for Rancho Christain to come on out. The 2 coaches, obviously a couple of guys that are used to success.
Yeah, two of the better young coaches in Southern California. Not only that, but Ray Bearfield of Rancho Christain, outstanding guard on the college level at San Diego State, and Andre Chevalier of Sierra Canyon was a very, very good guard. In fact, all-time leading scorer, if I'm not mistaken, at Cal State Northridge.
Exactly right. And we are just about ready for what promises to be as exciting a contest as we have seen in this day of basketball that is the League, presented by Compton Magic. This is the Ball is Life Weekly Showcase, and we are underway. And the tip goes to Sierra Canyon with the basketball. This is Duane Washington. our first poll question right out of the gate. Who's going to be the leading scorer today? We've got a lot of choices to pick from, so participate in our poll questions. Please do. We want to hear from you. Who's going to be the leading scorer tonight? We'll give you the results as they start to come in. Shot is blocked on the attempt by Terren Frank.
There's where we saw the Mobley size advantage. 2'6'9", 6'10" guy. Even though Frank is 6'8", he couldn't get the ball over the top of the Mobley brothers.
This is Jordan Montgomery with the basketball. Isaiah Mobley out on the wing. He can do some damage from anywhere on the floor. Kicks it out to Isaiah Knox. Knox on the drive. This is Montgomery. Good defense by Sierra Canyon so far on the first half-court possession. Montgomery. Evan Mobley with the up fake. Kicks it into the corner, and the shot is from Montgomery for three. No, and the rebound comes out to Washington. And here they come. They want to speed it up. Washington from 20. Got it.
Future Big Ten guard there, Paul, as we talked about in the pregame show. And a lot of skill. He can play either guard spot. He can set up teammates. He can score himself. He's going to be a terrific player for the Buckeyes.
And seems to have a Big Ten body already.
Big Ten body and very composed, as we saw earlier today.
Tell you a little bit more about his lineage when we get an opportunity. In the corner, Mobley is trapped. Gets it out to Montgomery, who weaves through the defense. Good ball movement by Rancho Christain, but can't get an open look. Bang! The shot is knocked down by KJ Redfield, the 6'3" senior.
Yeah, good patience or good ball movement going side to side and touching a lot of hands. Nobody killing the ball on the dribble. So good offense there by the Eagles.
Washington one bounce dribble, rims out, and that is Isaiah Mobley with the rebound. And he can do this, folks. He can bring it end to end with ease. Wing jumper is no good. Acrobatic tip by Knox fails to go, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by, and neither official had a good look at it, so I believe they will go with the alternate possession. In essence, they called a held ball, so it'll be out of bounds to Rancho Christain.
One thing that we should point out, no shot clock today. Normally in high school basketball in California, 30-second shot clock. No shot clock, so you'll see probably a little bit more patience, especially on Rancho Christian's spot, than you might normally see in a regular game.
Baseline jumper by Redfield missed, and Knox misses from deep, and the rebound comes off to Sierra Canyon. Double teamed just as he crossed midcourt. Here's Redfield with a left-hand drive, denied by Pippen. Good play by Pippen to save the layup, and here comes Sierra Canyon. It's 3-on-1. Pippen all the way. Missed it. Follow slam is no good. Ball is grabbed by Kuerban. Martin kicks it out. Open look for Pippen. Off the back rim, no good. Strong rebound in traffic from Mobley.
Yeah, great sequence there by Pippen. Just couldn't knock the shot down.
Nobody really hitting from outside so far, so we are stuck on 3-2 as we have been for a while. 16 and a half left to play here in the first half. They'll play 2 20-minute halves. Mobley, free throw line jumper, missed wide right, and a foul.
Yeah, KJ Martin couldn't close out under control. He kind of lost his balance and fell into his body ever so slightly on the missed jumper by Isaiah Mobley.
Take a look at the foul by Martin. Frank, tell everybody about KJ Martin and his history.
KJ Martin, former number 1 overall pick. Kenyon Martin of Cincinnati had an outstanding NBA career. Certainly one of the most forceful, athletic power forwards to come down the pike in the NBA in the last 20 years. And again, KJ not quite as big as his dad was at the same time, but certainly got every bit the same kind of vertical explosiveness.
Nice. He played last year at Chaminade.
Yep. One of the multitude of transfers we'll be talking about during the broadcast.
Indeed, for Sierra Canyon. I mean, they lost 10 guys off last year's team that was ranked number 1 in the country for a decent period of time. 2 free throws by Mobley make it a 5-2 Rancho Christain lead.
Rancho Christain now in their zone, trying to trap out top with Isaiah Mobley.
Which leaves always a shot from the corner, and it is indeed knocked down by Frank. Number 20 gets his first basket, and we're even at 5. Good pass inside, good cut by Mobley, and a foul as Isaiah goes strong to the rim.
Looks like we got another foul on KJ Martin as well.
Good cut without the ball by Mobley. One thing, those two, Isaiah and Evan, obviously very cerebral, high IQ players.
Yeah, and again, they're not strictly post players at 6'9" or 6'10" or whatever. They both are very comfortable on the perimeter. Mobley, Evan's probably a better jump shooter from range than is Isaiah. Isaiah is a better ball handler, playmaker, which, as we've seen earlier, when he ripped off a couple defensive rebounds and pushed the ball up the floor.
Knocks down a couple. It's 7-5 Rancho Christain. We're early here in the Ball is Life weekly showcase. Glad you could be with us.
I got that 1-2-2 zone with the Mobley brothers patrolling down along the baseline.
Pippen to Washington. Skip pass to Pippen. Inside, the ball is knocked away but recovered by William Washington, and now it's out of bounds. Last touched by Rancho Christain.
Sierra Canyon really struggling to get the ball cleanly to any spots. Every time it goes to the corner, Rancho Christain traps. And again, a little stagnant, not a lot of player movement against the zone right now.
We'll have another poll question here relatively quickly when we get an opportunity. And reminding you, there will be prizes for some lucky participant. Those prizes will come from the Ball is Life store. So we strongly encourage you to participate in today's broadcast. Next poll question will be coming around the 12-minute mark. Drive by Martin, off the rim, no good. Tip by Frank is no good. Evan Mobley had the rebound, but William Washington stripped it away, but it'll be out of bounds to Rancho Christain.
Again, the size, KJ Martin normally would have probably tried to dunk that, but with one of the Mobleys in the right hand, forced him to try to go around the hand instead of going over the top of it.
Now, which NBA player did not have a dad in the NBA? We're talking about Clay and Wiggins and, of course, Swaggy P. So which NBA player did not have a dad who played in the NBA? That's our next poll question. Please participate. I know many of you out there know the answer, so let us know that you know.
I know the answer, but I guess I don't count.
You don't? Yeah, you cannot participate. Exactly.
That last sequence, great quick hands by Scottie Pippen, and then led to the steal, which obviously led to the big follow dunk by KJ Martin. And here comes the sequence again. Good rip by Pippen on Jordan Montgomery. Actually, it might have been a pass.
Yes,
might have been a pass off the backwards. Maybe we should give him an assist on that one.
Heady play by Pippen. He saw Martin was coming like a freight train behind him. Pippen thought about the three. Washington from the wing knocks it down. Duane Washington, his dad was a terrific player, that's for sure, and his uncle even better.
Yeah, that was again a good example of good ball movement. Got Washington, got his feet set in an open spot, and he knocked it in.
Duane Washington's dad, Duane Sr., played at Middle Tennessee State and then also played with the Nets and the Clips. But his uncle, Derek Fisher, even more storied career.
Yeah, a few championships with the Lakers, I think 5 to be exact.
We have some early results from the poll question. And which NBA player did not have a dad in the NBA? 71% of you say Swaggy P.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
Long wing jumper, no good, but an athletic tip in, an easy one for Evan Mobley. And it's 10-9 Sierra Canyon. Pass inside to Frank, but they swarm him defensively. Good kick out to Pippen for three. Missed it. And Mobley's got the rebound. That's Evan Mobley. Gets it off to Knox, and here comes Rancho Christain. Good entry pass there, and a baby hook that rims out.
Great steal by Isaiah Mobley. Just couldn't quite get the jump hook to fall.
We have a collision in the middle of the lane, and let's see who the violator is. Knox ran into Pippen, but they're going to say the foul is on Pippen.
I tell you what, let's take a look at this replay, and it looked like he slid ever so slightly to his right. Nice effort to try to take the charge, but wasn't quite set on the penetration by Knox.
Nice work by our camera guys and the truck as well. Good look at that charge block, the most difficult call for most referees. We got a timeout on the court. 10:01 left play, or excuse me, 9:55 left play in the half. And let's take a little peek at the Rancho Christain huddle. Frank Ray Bearfield, obviously very successful player, really been a terrific builder of the program at Rancho Christain, but his son, pretty fair player as well.
Yeah, Cedric Bearfield was, I think, a 3-time All-CIF selection at Centennial High in Corona a couple of years ago. Really just started his career briefly at SMU, went to Utah, redshirted, and had a good second half of the season when he became eligible in late December. And the Utes are counting on big things for him this year, from the start of the season since he's eligible from Jump Street. Very, very good player. Bearfield, again, really done a good job in building this program from the ground level up.
Shot missed and the rebound comes off, and Washington, he can take it end to end. Good kick to Pippen for the three from the wing. Oh, denied. Excellent hustle by Pippen with the block. Martin is hemmed in, and everybody is giving Pippen a little encouragement after the brilliant block from behind.
I tell you what, his father was arguably one of the 2 or 3 greatest defensive players in NBA history, and Scottie Jr.'s really showed it from the quick hands, the steals, and now that big vertical explosion there on the block to knock it against the glass and control it.
Scottie came in from Pinecrest High School out in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Just one of the many new players for Sierra Canyon this year. William Washington, back rim no good, and the rebound is grabbed by Isaiah Mobley.
Coach Chevalier has got to be happy though. Good ball movement. Washington was open, just couldn't knock down the shot.
Good vision by Mobley. Saw over the double team and found the cutting Jordan Montgomery for the basket.
Good conversion there by Montgomery. Had William Washington right on his left shoulder, just drove through it and went through the contact and flipped in a very difficult mid-range shot from the baseline.
I would think it would be hard to trap Isaiah Mobley or Evan, for that matter, out in front, because they can see over the top of everybody.
Exactly, and they're good ball handlers and they play with their heads up. So it's a very difficult chore to keep the ball out of their hands.
Shot by Washington, missed. This is Knox with the hesitation dribble all the way to the rim. No good, got his own miss and cleans it up.
Sierra Canyon's going to have to do a little bit better in terms of they're so used to just jumping over the top of people. Now you got the Mobleys. If you don't actually put a body on them, it's very rare that you're going to be able to just out-jump 6'10" guys.
Knox with the rebound, the hit ahead, and the give-up foul by Pippen as Isaiah Mobley had a certain basket.
Yeah, Pippen looks like fouled him just enough so that Isaiah Mobley couldn't secure the ball, and obviously that would have been a dunk. There's a guy who was a great defensive player and one of the all-time greats, 6 NBA championships with the Chicago Bulls, Scottie Pippen.
Yep, one of the NBA's all-time greats.
Top 50 player of all time.
Indeed, and his son now has joined him out here on the West Coast, came in from Florida, and Scottie Pippen Jr., number 12 for Sierra Canyon, got a really bright future. Ripped out of there, Pippen takes it all the way and is forced to the baseline. They're going to call a foul against one of the Rancho Christain defenders.
Early in the week, talking to Coach Andre Chevalier from Sierra Canyon, Paul, we talked about Pippen, and he says, very, very gifted player, played very well in practice. And there's Kenyon Martin, KJ's father, but he wasn't sure. He was curious to see what Pippen would do when he played against real live competition in real games, and certainly he's more than shown that he's capable of playing against, with what he did against Centennial earlier today and what he's doing today, that he's capable of playing against the best teams and players in Southern California.
Yeah, he looks like he's ready for the challenge, to be sure. Loose ball was scooped up that time by L. Simpson, who sticks it in the basket. Oh, follow slam. Is it going to count? They're going to say no, in the cylinder. Wow, that was a close call, Frank, with the refs. They both called it right away.
Well, again, we say the kind of Evan Mobley, the sophomore of the Mobley brothers, what kind of, besides the size and the skill with the ball and the shooting, he's also a very good explosive vertical athlete.
Man, he was about a foot above everybody else on that one, but got it a little bit early, so they disallow the basket. Washington misses the pull-up. New player in the game for Sierra Canyon is Zach Brooker, number 11. And that's Terren Frank that knocked that down.
Yeah, Terren Frank, his dad, Tellis Frank, was a former first-round pick of the LA Clippers, who had a real nice NBA career after starring at Western Kentucky.
Right. Big 6'10" forward. Played with the Warriors and Heat, the Timberwolves as well. Oh, good hands that time by Evan Mobley to regain that. Frank staying with him, though, and tips it out of bounds. Last touch by Sierra Canyon. You are seeing some great hand-eye coordination by some very large players here in this one.
Yep. I don't know if you had a chance to mention yet, but Cassius Stanley, probably the most physically gifted of all the Sierra Canyon transfers. Two-time All-CIF player at Harvard Westlake. Yeah, and he just came off the bench.
And there he is, number 13, with his back to us. Yeah, as skilled a player as any in the Southland.
And there we go. There's the drive by Knox. Great follow, but when we see the replay, hands obviously in the cylinder there. So absolutely good call by the officiating through there.
Loose ball, grabbed by Frank. I think they may have called him for carrying it. Not sure.
A travel on the steal.
Okay.
Trying to secure the dribble.
Substitution for Rancho Christain, number 5 is Yusef Johnson, and this young man Johnson, who missed all of last year.
ACL injury. Yeah. Coach Barefield's counting on him. He thinks he's fully recovered now. So ACL last year, and Coach Barefield's counting on him to really give them some extra size in the post, especially backing up the Mobley brothers the few moments that they're on the bench.
Another substitution in for Rancho Christain is Luke Turner, number 11, who missed the jumper, but Frank hits again from the deep corner, and it's the largest lead of the first half at 19-13 Sierra Canyon. Open three from the wing, rims out by Evan Mobley. Of course, reminding you, we'll have another poll question coming up here very shortly. Cassius Stanley can't get the friendly roll. Oh, and Evan Mobley up over the top with a big man's rebound.
That's a big-time rebound.
Nice drive and dish by Montgomery. Dropped it off to Isaiah Mobley for the easy one, and that was a pretty great transition.
Great sequence with the great defensive rebound by Evan Mobley, the great push by Jordan Montgomery, and then the feed to Isaiah Mobley for the layup.
Mentioned earlier how Scottie Pippen Jr. had transferred in from Pinecrest High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Well, what current NBA player went to Pinecrest High School in Florida? You got Brandon Knight, Bradley Beal, and Aaron Gordon. Well, this is a little more of a test for you basketball trivia fans. No, you, Frank Burleson, you are ineligible.
Okay.
You cannot play. But yes, Brandon Knight, Bradley Beal, or Aaron Gordon, who played their high school ball at Pinecrest in Florida.
Terren Frank off to a big start for the Trailblazers with 9 points, Paul.
Nice drive and the left-hand finish by Duane Washington in traffic. A little creativity.
That's a high-level major college move right there, Paul, by Duane Washington.
Watch Washington again.
Oh, that's a terrific shot. Avoided if he would have went up right-handed, Evan Mobley would have blocked it. He went up, put it to his left hand, and got it around his body. That's a terrific player. That's a guy who spent a lot of his life playing against bigger, older players who having a lot of shots blocked. Nice. You got to come up with little creative things like that to get shots off when you're playing against men.
Washington chose Ohio State. He had about 30 offers, including UCLA, Utah, Oregon, Michigan. Michigan State was interested, but he chose the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Here comes Frank on the drive. Oh, a strip and steal by Knox, but he was on the baseline. We've got some poll results. Let's take a look. What current NBA player went to Pinecrest High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida? Brandon Knight is the correct response.
Yeah, Bradley Beal went to high school in Missouri, and Aaron Gordon went to high school in Northern California.
He did indeed. Out of bounds to Sierra Canyon. 2:49 left in the half. 21-15 Sierra Canyon. They edged in front after an early advantage for Rancho Christain. There's a three ball. No good by Stanley, and the rebound comes off to Rancho Christain.
Good box out there, Isaiah Knox on Stanley.
Near steal. Nice job by Knox to pick it up. Yusuf Johnson is being bodied big time by Kuerban, number 9, the transfer in from Rebay Academy. But
yeah, he's only about 6'2", and Yusuf, of course, is about 6'8", so he's trying to front him and not let the entry. Probably not get a foul. The guy was, 12, 13 feet from the basket. He wasn't going to do a lot with it that far away from the hoop.
Rancho Christain to inbound the basketball. Evan Mobley spinning in the paint. Reach-in foul coming from one of the Sierra Canyon defenders.
Looked like, I think, Frank Mobley got a little bit of an angle on him, got his left shoulder into him, and he couldn't get around. Nice example of the skill that the sophomore Mobley has.
Yeah, he starts that from about 20 feet out. Inbound to Rancho Christain, a little two-man game between the Mobleys. Nice pass inside to Evan, who misses, gets it back. Ball still alive for Rancho Christain. Here's Knox. Big screen out front by Isaiah Mobley.
That was an assertive, forceful screen and a good pass by Isaiah Mobley.
The freshman Turner is denied.
Luke Turner, number 11, Paul, is a kid from Temecula, very, very good freshman, will be one of the better freshmen in Southern California. Yeah, Terren Frank just showed what Luke Turner, what major high school basketball is about right now.
Drive, kick, Johnson from the baseline, got it. Yusuf Johnson knocks one down. Cuts the lead to 4, 21-17. Inside of 2 minutes to play here in a pretty entertaining first half.
Yeah, both teams showing why they're particularly strong.
If you haven't seen Cassius Stanley play, that type of elevation is very typical of the amazing ability that this young man has, and he drew a foul from Johnson.
Like I say, I'm not sure he's quite an NBA player yet, but he's definitely an NBA athlete. Like I say, if he gets to the NBA, which I think there's a reasonable chance, at some point he's going to be a contestant in the NBA dunking championship at All-Star Weekend.
Of course, played last year at Harvard Westlake. They lost in the finals to Pasadena, but Cassius Stanley was consistently great throughout the season for Harvard Westlake.
Yeah, they actually beat Pasadena in the Southern Section Finals, then lost to them in a second-round regional game. Yeah. And of course, his freshman year, I think they won a state Division III championship. Yeah.
Catch and shoot for Knox looks good, but off the back rim, no good. Washington chases it down, but a steal back the other way by Redfield, and it's tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Sierra Canyon. But Cassius Stanley's been a phenom since he was about 13 or something.
Yeah, he's been on the radar of, probably had more video on ball in his life than anybody than the Ball brothers.
Steal by Knox, and he gets one to roll in there. Good pass by Stanley, but Evan Mobley says, nothing doing. Knox all the way, he lays it up. No, good defense that time by Washington to challenge.
Yeah, good hustle back on defense. A lot of players would just conceded the breakaway, but he challenged it and did just enough to cause Knox to miss the shot.
Double teamed right in front of us. Knox got the steal. Let's take another look at the block at the other end.
Huge block with the left hand by Mobley, who just stayed in position, didn't leave his feet too early. And at that length and that kind of timing and jumping ability, you don't have to leave your feet every time a shooter blinks at you.
We had a foul on Rancho Christain on the steal, so Sierra Canyon keeps possession inside of a minute to play here in the first half, and Sierra Canyon is up 4. Boy, Rancho Christain really ratcheting up the physicality defensively.
Yeah, playing a man now, too.
And the shot is knocked down. That is Kuerban, number 9, the 6'3 senior, and pretty shooting time.
Yeah, who may be, according to Coach Chevalier, the best jump shooter on the roster.
26-19, biggest lead of the half. That's Isaiah Mobley off the rim, no good. Ball comes right back out in the same direction, though, and he's going to get fouled on his way to the basket.
Neither of the Mobley brothers has hit a jump shot yet. Had some pretty good looks, just haven't been able to knock him down.
hence the rather low offensive total for Rancho Christian. They had a couple of stretches where they just couldn't stick it in the basket, and they had an early lead at 10-9, but since then it has been a 17-9 run for Sierra Canyon. Mobley trying to cut into that, missed the 1+1. At the buzzer, no, but a near miss for Duane Washington. And halftime with Sierra Canyon leading Rancho Christian 26-19. Oh, we're going to have an interview coming up here at halftime. We're going to be joined by Evan Mobley of Rancho Christian. Our score at the half, it's Sierra Canyon 26 and Rancho Christian 19. You're watching the 2017 Ball is Life Weekly Showcase. Let us know who you're rooting for. Hashtag Ball is Life TV. Welcome back to Westminster High School. We're at halftime where Sierra Canyon leads Rancho Christian 26-19. I'm Paul Westphal, joined by Frank Burleson. In between us, though, is the exciting sophomore, 6'10" Evan Mobley. Evan, obviously, Rancho Christian used to a great deal of success. Big things expected for your team this year. What are you working on personally to make yourself a little better player?
I'm trying to get stronger and a lot of like shooting the ball and like finishing at the rim more.
Okay.
You and your brother Isaiah, who's a junior, you're older than you. You're both 4.0 students. You've had all kinds of colleges come to the campus. I think Stanford's whole staff was on your campus a week or so ago. How's that? I mean, how is it? I mean, you're still young. How is it not to be a little kind of overwhelmed and to stay focused on which? I mean, obviously college is a few years away from you, but it's certainly a great honor to see people like that come into your gym.
I'm trying to just listen to my coach and stay humble and not like get all up in the hype. So that's it.
Now, playing with your brother, obviously, he's probably been a motivator, a role model, etc. When you go after each other one-on-one on occasion, what's that like?
It's very competitive. I try to get the best of him, but like he's older, so he wins, I win. Sometimes it depends.
Nice.
Well, I want to know is, what your dad was an outstanding player at Portland, Eric, and at what point did one of you guys finally be able to beat him one-on-one?
Probably like 6th grade. Once I started getting taller than him, it was easier because I could block a shot because you can't really move.
And we won't tell him you said that, but you took him outside, shot jumpers and stuff?
Yeah, I try to tire him out.
You guys have been around this kind of level of basketball with the Compton Magic program. So again, it's not, people would think, well, Temecula, they're responsible, but you've been around elite big-time players since you're 10, 11 years old. Does it make the transition a little bit easier for you last year as a freshman?
Yeah, like playing up from like 8th grade all the way up, it's like helped me like get better and like actually like be good like my freshman year.
Paul mentioned in terms of the expectations. Obviously, if things go well, you guys are going to be playing in the Open Division in the playoffs, playing against the Mater Days, the Sierra Canyons, the Bishop Montgomerys. I mean, you guys have had great success on the lower level, but obviously your expectation is you want to play against the very best in the postseason.
Yeah, we're trying to play good teams now so we can get ready for the playoffs later.
All right, well, we could probably talk to this young man for a long time. You're an outstanding interview, but get used to it. You're going to be interviewed a lot. Anyway, thanks very much, Evan, for the time. We probably better let you go back and play the second half. My pleasure. That was Evan Mobley from Rancho Christian, one of the best class of 2020 in the country, and we'll be looking for his progress throughout the next couple of years. All right, we'll take a little quick break, and we'll be back with all the second half action at the 2017 Ball is Life Weekly Showcase, where Sierra Canyon has a 7-point lead at the intermission. Back in just a moment. Frank, you got some halftime numbers of some of the more...
I think offensively for the first half, Sierra Canyon was Terren Frank with 9 shots. I think all but one bucket on jump shots. And then Duane Washington, the future Ohio State guard. Tremendous first half with 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Thank you for our stat, Mr. Devin Uglin, providing the stats for us.
And how about for Rancho Christain?
Yeah, Isaiah Mobley, 6 points, 5 rebounds, and his brother Evan just 1 bucket, but 6 rebounds and a couple of blocks.
Redfield had it denied at the rim. Martin to Pippen. Open look from the wing for Kuerban, but it comes off no good. Oh, good steal by Pippen. Quick hands.
Yeah, there's those quick hands on display again, and a nice nifty layup with Evan Mobley trying to alter the shot. Heck of a... I tell you what, we got a long ways to go, but Scottie Pippen has just been tremendous both ends of the floor. Scottie Pippen Jr.
Yes, indeed, and he does have those quick hands we were told about. Defensively, he has a knack for the steal. Of course, Dad, one of the best on-ball defenders in the history of the game. We have a player down. It looks like Isaiah Knox.
And it looked like
ankle.
A little block by the aforementioned KJ Martin there. Yeah, here's the replay. Yeah, there's the drive. Yeah, just never really got his feet set and actually hit him with the hip. It looked like when he was trying to turn. So one of those Fisher cut baits type of deal for Martin. He didn't do either.
Knox trying to walk it off, and we certainly hope we see Isaiah back in the contest. 2 20-minute halves, so we are at a little over 18 minutes left to play.
Fisher cut bait. I'm pulling all the cliches out
Oh,
today,
nice. But that's old school there. I like that.
Again, Isaiah Mobley got Terren Frank on his hip. And once you get a big guy like that with the kind of skill Isaiah Mobley has on your butt or on your hip, he's going to do anything he wants because now he's pretty helpless, and Frank reached and grabbed him.
Frank out Stanley in, number 13, Cassius Stanley for Sierra Canyon. Montgomery, they swing it around the perimeter. That was Park who had the ball momentarily, gets it to Mobley, who's double teamed on the baseline. Park with a wing 3, looks good, rims out.
Yeah, went way down there before popping out.
Here comes Stanley, better stop the ball here. Stanley runs into Mobley, but a little hesitation, got the shot off, but it was challenged, and here's Isaiah Mobley with the contested lay-in, and he'll draw a 2-shot opportunity.
And I think that might have been Martin. If that's so, I believe that's his 4th foul.
We'll send Isaiah Mobley to the free throw line. One of the team captains, 4.0 GPA. This young man is big time, Frank.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned the Mobley brothers being 4.0 students. Pretty much everybody on this Eagles squad is a tremendous student. Jordan Montgomery, the sophomore point guard, 3.9. Stephen Park, who had that jumper go in and out, he's a 3.8 student. So, again, tremendous program in the classroom and on the floor, Paul.
Got a quick look at the contested lay-in. A couple of free throws make it 28-21, and Rancho Christain, Frank, going to put on some full court pressure.
Now let's see how Pippen handles the pressure of Jordan Montgomery right here.
Stanley, he'll be tough from in there, but denied on a nice block by Evan Mobley that time. Here comes Montgomery, and Martin swats it out of there.
Yeah, that saved the layup. That's, again, the explosiveness we talked about from Kenyon Martin, and how his son has definitely inherited those genes. And there's a nice kickoff by Redfield to dump off to Evan Mobley for the dunk.
Pretty pass by KJ Redfield. His older brother Trace was on that 2015-16 5A championship team. KJ, we haven't had a chance to see him shoot the ball. He's probably the best three-point shooter on the team. He hasn't had a chance to launch one yet. Oh, a nice reverse dribble by Pippen. He's clever.
Yeah, there's the penetration. Great kickoff. I mean, once you give a guy baseline, your defense is going to break down, and Redfield took advantage of it by dumping off that pass to Evan Mobley for the two-handed slam.
On the ensuing possession, that young man right there, Pippen, used a little reverse pivot, got himself fouled on the drive, but non-shooting foul. Here's Pippen on the wing, guarded by Park.
Andre Chevalier kind of dictating his, orchestrating his team's offense from the front of the bench.
Catch and shoot is knocked down again by Kuerban, and that's some of that shooting you were telling me about.
That's
Frank.
a real tight run, catch, explode into the shot. That's a real elite jump shot right there.
31-23 Sierra Canyon. Catch and shoot for Redfield there, right on cue. I mentioned that he's one of the best three-point shooters on the team. He just hadn't shot one yet. And he answers the three ball with one of his own.
Good offense off the penetration and kick for the dunk, and now knocking in the three-pointer from the deep right corner.
Frank, step back jumper, got it. Pretty shot from Terren Frank. He has been impressive.
Yeah, he's much improved, not only from last season, his freshman season when he was a part-time starter at Harvard Westlake, but over the summer he's really made exceptional progress.
Good spacing that time. Mobley gets called for the charge, however.
Again, there's Scottie Pippen Jr. just burrowing himself on the hip, and I think Mobley couldn't get his feet set, and Pippen, gave up his body and got a charge.
High IQ guy. 11 points for Frank to lead all scorers. Catch and shoot. You can't leave that guy open, can you? Oh, that time Kuerban came up empty, but here comes Rancho Christain in transition. Oh, the lob too high from Mobley to Mobley, and the pass sails out of bounds.
Yeah, Isaiah needs to get his feet set. He's kind of running off balance and trying to throw the pass. It's very, very difficult unless you're Lonzo Ball or an NBA point guard to make that kind of pass on target. Good idea, just feet weren't set and couldn't get a crisp, clean pass to his brother, which would have been a layup.
Inside of 13 minutes to play, we'll have another poll question coming for you around the 12-minute mark. Steal by Park. Mobley. Oh, Martin rose up and blocked it.
And that's a solid defensive play.
Mobley looking for the foul. Here's Isaiah Mobley. Double team, spinning in the lane, hangs, and it would have been and one, but the rim spit it out.
Looked like number 24, L. Simpson, might have got him on the elbow as he pivoted and spun. Isaiah Mobley pivoted and tried to shoot a jumper over the top of the shorter Simpson.
Mobley's first free throw is good.
I tell you, between the sons of two terrific defensive players in the NBA, Kenyon Martin and KJ out here for Sierra Canyon, and then Scottie Pippen Jr., elite defensive plays, block shots and steals by both of them.
Pippen nicely weaving his way through the press to Simpson, who spins it up and in for L. Simpson, his second basket. 35-28 Sierra Canyon.
A lot of games still yet to be played, but if I'm picking an MVP in this game so far, it's Scottie Pippen Jr.
Of course, we've been talking a lot about Scottie Jr. How many seasons did Scottie Pippen Sr. play in the NBA? Give us your thoughts. Please participate in the poll questions. You may just be selected to win a prize from the Ball is Life store. He played a lot, as our four choices, all double figures there for Pippen Sr. 35-28. Nearing the midpoint of the second half. Stanley tried to draw a foul by kind of Reggie Millering it there by kicking his leg out.
Not a good rhythm shot driving to his left there.
Oh, pretty high-low pass from Evan Mobley to the cutting Isaiah Knox. Nice as he knocks back in the game, and he gets an easy one.
Yeah, that was a tough possession. That could have easily been 9 if Stanley hits the shot and gets the easy bucket the other end to get him back within 5.
Pippen to Stanley on the wing. Driving. Block!
Huge
Evan Mobley.
Again, Evan Mobley's ability to stay on his feet. He didn't leave his feet. If he leaves his feet, Stanley gets into his body and it's a foul and maybe an end one, but he stayed down, and when Stanley tried to release the ball, his hands are there and basically snatched it out of his hands. Excellent play by the sophomore.
Great sense of how to use this, the gifts that you have.
Yeah. Again, when you're 6'9" or 6'10" and a good jumper, you don't need to leave. You don't need to sell out on a head fake or an up fake or something like that. You wait when the ball goes up, then go for it.
We got some more poll results coming. And a mixed bag there so far. Most people seem to think Scottie Sr. hung around for 17 years. Let's sneak a peek into the Rancho Christain huddle.
Coach Bearfield there with Redfield looking on, and Isaiah Mobley and Evan Mobley straddling Redfield.
Leading scorers for each squad, you've got Terren Frank for Sierra Canyon, who's got 11 points, and Isaiah Mobley's got 10 points and 7 rebounds for Rancho Christain.
Big offensive spark this last 5 or 6 minutes, though, by KJ Redfield with the drive and penetration to Evan Mobley for the dunk, and, of course, the big three from the corner.
Going to give you a chance to be part of our post-game interview with our game MVP. This is your chance to take part in the broadcast. Submit a question in the comments section, and the best question will be asked in our post-game interview with our game MVP, who is still very much to be determined, Frank Burleson. I'm not sure who the game MVP would be yet.
Well, you know who my vote would go for if we were doing it right now, Mr. Pippen.
Very nice. It's a steal. Out in transition comes Rancho Christain. Montgomery pull-up, knocks it down. Little mid-range pull-up, cuts the lead to 3.
Good play by Jordan Montgomery. He saw the defenders retreating, so he just rose up and had a nice, easy 14-foot practice shot, basically.
Pippen to Stanley. Stanley, pull-up jumper, short.
Not a good shot there by Cassius.
Here comes Isaiah Mobley to the cutting Evan Mobley. Kicks it out, wide open, look for Knox. Bang!
Good offensive there. Good play by Mobley. Could have gone left hand and tried for a jump hook, but he saw his teammate in the corner, pitched it to him for a wide open 3. Good offense there by Rancho Christain.
And that necessitates a Sierra Canyon timeout. Let's look again. This was really well done.
Yeah, good pass by Isaiah Mobley to Evan Mobley, who had a reasonably good shot, but again, head up, saw his teammate in the corner, pitched it to him for a wide open 3. Really good offense by the sophomore there. Good decision making.
We talked, Frank, a couple of times about how Sierra Canyon lost virtually anybody who contributed anything to last year's team. Yeah. And so you've got all these new guys. Now they've played, they played some together, but how long before you develop really a serious chemistry when you got so many new guys?
Again, for one thing, unless something changes, Cassius Stanley has got to sit out 30 days because of the transfer rules within California. His family, as of now, isn't going to move, so he'll have to sit out. So the Sierra Canyon team we see in December isn't going to be the one we see in January or February. I would think if these pieces stay in place and the chemistry goes and the continuity and the fluidity, we're going to see a team come late February when the Open Division, Southern Section Open Division brackets announced. They're going to be in it. They're going to be they're going to be capable, I think, of challenging the Bishop Montgomerys and the Mater Days and the Oak Parks and the Santa Margaritas and the Damien. So this potential, even with all these new pieces, this is a team that's very, very physically gifted with guys who are willing to play defense like Pippen and Martin, and tremendous athletes like Martin and Cassius Stanley.
After the timeout, Martin on the left-hand drive, but the Mobley's defense was there. It's 2-on-1 the other way. Oh, Knox tried to get it to Redfield, and he just didn't catch it.
Not a good, should have jump stopped at the foul line. He would have had a jumper or a pass for a layup, over-penetrated on the drive there.
Mobley for 3, rims out. That would have given Sierra Canyon the lead for the first time since it was 10-9. Pippen, lefty, no good, but doesn't give up on the play. Got the loose ball and kicked it out to Frank, and I think they're going to get a 3-second call?
Yeah, again, I think that time it looks like, 3-second call. But again, first really bad play, a bad mental mistake by Pippen there. Kind of got caught and sold himself with a shot and ended up trying to throw an off-balance, awkward shot attempt instead of backing it out and get a better shot.
Evan Mobley challenges Frank on the baseline, and we're going to get a foul on Frank.
Yeah, in the body. Definitely chested him and kind of got into his shoulder. That was a pretty easy call.
Out of bounds to Rancho Christain. Isaiah Mobley. Oh, we got I think a clock situation perhaps. They're talking it over with the scoring table. I'm sure they'll get it all straightened out here momentarily, and they will. Rancho Christain to inbound the basketball. It's Pippen, Stanley, Martin, Washington, and William Washington for Sierra Canyon, and Mobley lost it off his foot on the baseline drive. A missed chance for 2 chances in a row for Rancho Christian to take the lead, Frank.
A nice move by Isaiah Mobley. Good spin, but once he got his feet, he couldn't get a foundation, couldn't get his feet planted, so he kind of kept going and the ball went out of bounds. If he would have just jumped stop, he could have gotten powered up from the left side.
Isaiah Mobley with the strip steal. Oh, he had Redfield ahead of the pack, but the pass was behind him and KJ couldn't flag it down. Behind him and a little too much smoke on that fastball. So that's 3 opportunities that Rancho Christian has had to take the lead. They trailed by as many as 9. This is Duane Washington. Been a little quiet since the early going when he was very much in the mix. Yeah, good defense by Redfield in that part. Kept Washington from getting into the lane. Nice offensive rebound by Paul by Mr. KJ Martin, and just finished it very authoritatively. And there's KJ Redfield. You let him get his feet set and the ball spun just the way he wants it. He's going to make them most of the time. And I think first Rancho Christian leading since early in the ball game, if I'm not mistaken. 38-37, Rancho Christian. Yeah, good second half by Redfield, defensively and offensively. One of the team captains. Yeah. Redfield with 3 threes this half. Nice. And a solid defensive job on Duane Washington as well. Rancho Christian has battled back to a 1-point lead. Redfield with those 3 threes has 9 points. Isaiah Mobley, high low to Evan Mobley. Nice. Oh, a little baby hook, but the rim wouldn't have it. Just couldn't get enough power on that thing to get it over the top of the rim. And then KJ Martin knocks one down. Yeah, again, goes the other end. You know, Mobley puts him up by 3, but go the other end, and Martin gets the jumper. 39-38, Sierra Canyon. Redfield on the drive, kicks it to an open Montgomery. No good, but they tip from one Mobley to another. He's going to say no basket. Looked like I think he's going to call a foul on a. Looks like I think he's saying Isaiah Mobley might have pushed on the offensive rebound attempt. It looked like he designated 3. That's a tough one for Rancho Christian. Yeah, that would have been again took away a point-blank dunk by Evan Mobley. And Ray Bearfield showed his dismay. And we've got a foul on the drive, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Looked like a 3-second call. It looked like he gave the official in front of us gave the designation as a 3-point. Wow. Okay. Excellent job by Knox to absorb the contact and lay it in softly with the right hand. And got it over or around the shot blocker Martin there. That's a heck of a play by Redfield. 40-39, Rancho Christian. Shot missed by Kuerban. Rebound. Washington got the offensive rebound, went strong to the basket, and drew the foul. Looked like Redfield got a piece of his arm when he was going to try to go back up to the rim. And, of course, let's go back to the very first poll question. Now that it's getting closer to the end of the game, we asked our viewers who's going to be the leading scorer, and everyone seems to think it's going to be Scottie Pippen Jr. A number of players, though, in that mix still in contention for that honor, with 4:19 left to go here in the contest. But Pippen, the leader at the moment among our viewers. Thanks so very much for participating. We appreciate the interaction. Knox, high arching 3 that missed. Battle for the rebound is ripped out of there by Martin. Yeah, Martin showing. Oh, and then the throw ahead was too far and out of bounds. Yeah, that was definitely one of those 50-50 balls. And right now, Martin's a lot physically stronger in the upper body than is Evan Mobley, and was able to rip it out of his hands. But the ensuing turnover gives it back to Rancho Christian. 3:55 left to go in the ball game. Anybody's game. Hope you're enjoying this one as much as we are bringing it to you. Evan Mobley. Oh, a pretty floater.
Terrific finish. Good drive, jump stop, went up with some power, and then went way over the top of the rim to just drop it in. Heck of a drive by the sophomore.
And ever so softly. Oh, over the outstretched arm of Isaiah Mobley was Duane Washington for the basket. 42-41, Rancho Christain turns it over. And let's take another look at that. Wow. Action end to end here. We'll get another chance at that perhaps.
Out of bounds off that pass. Went out of bounds to the sidelines. And again, Redfield did a pretty good job on Washington. I think Washington's only bucket was that layup in the last possession.
Until there! A little crossover and a three ball for Duane Washington.
Redfield got caught up on that screen and couldn't get over the top of it, and Washington had a real clean look.
Yeah, they had put the score wrong up on the scoreboard. It is 44-42. Sierra Canyon is the correct score until now, as Redfield hits again, this time from the deep corner, his fourth three ball in the second half. 45-44, Rancho Christain. Inside of three to play. Blocked! Pippen is blocked by Isaiah Mobley. And a foul in frustration by Pippen.
Foul by Pippen. Thought what he had was a clean jumper. He must not have saw Isaiah Mobley, and Mobley got a piece of it, and then Pippen tried to rip him from behind and got called for the foul.
The length and ability to move as Pippen with another steal and draws a foul from Montgomery. But watching the Mobleys defensively, their ability to cover ground with those long legs.
They can move the feet laterally, and they're so long. Again, they don't have to leave the feet to try to block shots. Just play sound position basketball, and their length and size will do it. But again, defensively, Scottie Pippen, again, one of the half a dozen or so steals, the block shots. He's really disrupted things for the most part with his defense for Rancho Christian's offensive.
Good defense by Rancho Christain forces Pippen to call a timeout before the 5 count. So we've got a timeout on the court. 2:39 left play in the ball game. Welcome back to Westminster High School. We've got a good one in our first of our Sunday Ball is Life weekly showcase games. Rancho Christain leading Sierra Canyon 45-44. I'm Paul Westphal, joined by Frank Burleson. We've got some scorers for Sierra Canyon. Duane Washington has got a dozen, and for Rancho Christain, KJ Redfield has a dozen, all on 4 threes. Evan Mobley for Rancho Christain has 6 points, but 8 rebounds and 5 blocks. Frank.
Yeah, definitely made his impact felt, especially on the defensive end, but also made the nice pass out to Redfield for the 3, and of course, good finish on the dunk off the pass by Redfield, and then a nice little finger roll over the top of the defense the last possession.
Duane Washington to trigger the inbound pass. Now this is Pippen. Washington gets it back. Against Redfield, this has been a good matchup all game long. And from the corner,
William Washington,
another country heard from. We haven't seen William shoot it much.
The only guy really who played much that's still on the team from a year ago was a deep reserve a year ago.
And the backcourt pressure forces a steal. Sierra Canyon up 2. This is William Washington. Took a lot of nerve to take that shot. I don't think he shot one prior to that, and he knocks down a 3 to give him the lead. Inside of 2 minutes coming. Sierra Canyon with Cassius Stanley out front. Kicks it in the corner. Pippen missed it, and the rebound is grabbed by Isaiah Mobley. Here comes Rancho Christain with a chance to tie or take the lead. This is Montgomery. Redfield inside goes to Mobley. Mobley to Mobley. Little 8-footer, pretty shot.
Excellent play. Isaiah Mobley saw the double. His brother flashed the open spot, dumped it off, wide open 8 with a great offense between two guys who played with each other a little bit over their lives.
We're even at 47. Inside of a minute and a half to play. This is Washington against Redfield. I have enjoyed watching those two go after each other. Pippen, tried a no-look pass to Martin, but it is tipped out of bounds.
Yeah, Mobley hit it, and it looked like it might have gotten off of Martin's shoulder, but apparently not.
Out of bounds to Sierra Canyon. 1:13 left to play in the ball game. We're tied at 47. Pippen has the basketball. Washington calling for it. Redfield right in his jersey.
Yeah, great defense on Washington in the second half.
Washington on the drive, splits the defenders up and under and lays it in.
Terrific drive by Washington against very good defense.
49-47, 14 for Washington. Knox for three. Bang! Isaiah Knox gives Rancho Christain the lead, 50-49. Inside of a minute, we're down to 40 seconds to play. Pippen on the drive. Cut off by Montgomery. Gives it to Washington. Double teamed near the midcourt line. And what do we got? Gonna get a foul.
Plenty of fouls to go. We need to get to 10 before we get to the one-on-one. I think that's just 7 or 6.
Right, that is correct.
Just six now for Rancho Christain. So they got a bunch of fouls to give. If they see somebody breaking for a layup or a wide open shot, you're going to see a foul given.
30 seconds left. This is Washington guarded by Redfield. Washington on the drive. Pull up wing jumper. No! Tip in good by Kuerban. Adili Kuerban gets the basket to give Sierra Canyon a 1-point lead. Inside of 20 seconds to play, and we're going to get a timeout.
All that great half-court defense, Paul. You contest the shot, you stop penetration, and then you don't box out, and you let perhaps one of the second smallest guy on the floor for Sierra Canyon get a wide open follow shot.
Boy, great quality basketball on both ends.
Exceptional.
You're seeing some active defense. Let's look again at the offensive rebound.
Good defense by Redfield again. Looked like Montgomery didn't box out. Stood there on the baseline and allowed.
That was Kuerban again.
Kuerban to go in and lay it up.
Knox has 14 points for Rancho Christain, 10 of those coming in the second half.
Well, 16 seconds to go, down 1. Coach Bearfield is obviously wants the ball in the Mobley's hands, and again, it presents a tough situation for Sierra Canyon because it's not like they can't double both of them, so as long as the ball gets in the hands of the Mobleys and with shooters like Montgomery and Knox and Redfield, there's a good chance that Rancho Christain should get a reasonably good shot off.
Now, when ideally would you take the shot? Obviously, you have the last possession, barring a steal.
Ideally, you want to give yourselves multiple options, so you're not going to wait till 1 second to go before you shoot, because you want, especially with 2 6'10" guys on the court, you want to be able to give yourself multiple opportunities to win it. So again, shot early and give yourself a chance for an offensive rebound.
Here we go. We're down to 10. Isaiah Mobley, guarded by Stanley, spins and draws the foul. He says he's shooting. Do they feel the same way?
Yeah, I would think so. It looked like it. They're saying he's on the floor. Let's see what we're going to do. Nope, he's going to get some free throws. So 7.5 to go, and it looked like Stanley got his wrist. Let's see. Here's the drive. Great spin. Yeah. Clearly, Stanley reached over and got his right wrist, which stopped a layup, but now he gets to shoot 2 free throws.
First free throw for Isaiah Mobley is pure. We're even at 51. We will play overtime if these teams do indeed
2 minutes.
Get to end of regulation tied, and we are still tied, but Redfield had the rebound, but it's stolen away by Washington, and he's tripped up. Is he out of bounds? Is there a foul? What's the call?
They may have called a foul, which still gives the ball. Let's see what they're doing. Yeah, they're going to call a reach, but again, no free throws. So.
Okay. 4 seconds left. We'll take another look at it. Redfield had the ball momentarily, but then Washington got it.
That was a foul by Mobley, tripped Duane Washington. So 4 seconds to go, backcourt, sidelines, out of bounds. And, oh my bad, they did not call a foul.
No, they just said that Washington was on the sideline, so out of bounds to Rancho Christain.
I don't know about that one.
That's a tough one if you're Sierra Canyon, but now Rancho Christain has a chance for the final shot of regulation. Who do you want to get the ball to if you can?
The open guy. Let's see. You got Martin on Evan Mobley, and you've got Stanley and Isaiah, so it's going to be tough to get there. And there's Evan. He's going to drive. He got fouled. Great offense.
Brilliantly run play by Ray Bearfield. They inbounded it to Isaiah Mobley, who threw it into Evan Mobley.
And Isaiah just ran to the block with Stanley on his hip. And it looks like they're going to, with 1.2 seconds.
They're not going to give him free throws? It doesn't appear, though. It looks like they are going to say no free throws, out of bounds with 1.2 seconds left to go. Chance for a catch and shoot, but now Ray Bearfield has to draw up one more play.
1.2 seconds, not a lot of options, but the one thing you do have, you can have a tall guy inbounding and one of the Mobleys and a potentially tall guy, so it's going to be tough to challenge an inbounder and then tough to defend an inbounder. But again, you also have Montgomery, Redfield shooters who you toss it to the corners so they catch it and shoot it quick. Clean look. Because the defense has got to collapse on the Mobleys inbounding and around the basket.
We had a good look at Ray Bearfield. 6th year as the head man at Rancho Christain. He played at Fresno Hoover High School and was a star there, then went to play for San Diego State, where he played for Jim Brandenburg and then Tony Fuller, and was always known as a really mentally tough, high basketball IQ guy. Ray ended up at San Diego State after a distinguished career at Fresno Hoover. He had offers from UCLA, USC, but he went and played for San Diego State.
Well, if Rancho Christain can't score here, we're got an extra couple minutes of play for the people watching.
Which is, I think, no one would mind a bit, except the teams that are standing there waiting to play the next game.
Yeah.
It's just a day of basketball here at the league presented by Compton Magic. We have been delighted to bring you this as our first Ball is Life weekly showcase. It has been as good as advertised, and we're down to 1.2 seconds of a tie game. Rancho Christain to inbound the basketball. What kind of a play did...
Well, Montgomery's inbounding, so let's see what happens.
It's Redfield for the win, and it's no good, and we will go to overtime. It'll be 2 minutes of overtime, unlike perhaps normal CIF Southern Section basketball.
Which is 4 minutes. Yeah, 4 minutes normally.
Free throws. So with 2 minutes, Frank. They're negotiating whether or not we're going to stop the clock. After made baskets, et cetera, but they're going to reset the clock now. Things are a little bit unusual in these types of basketball situations, so they wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page. Well, we're going to have 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, normally the games are set for exactly 1 hour with 20-minute running halves and about a 1 minute halftime. So obviously, with the telecast, they've had to adjust the rules a little bit. And
we appreciate that. A lot of great cooperation from everyone involved here in our first Ball is Life weekly showcase. Eto Buda-Emma and everybody involved with the Compton Magic organization have bent over backwards to help us, and we appreciate that. And now we are ready for the tip of overtime, and it's won by Sierra Canyon. Pippen with the basketball.
And the high jumping KJ Martin.
Martin gives it back to Pippen. Pippen lost his footing. Stanley to Washington. Stanley, pull-up jumper, got it. Cassius Stanley.
That's a sweet drive there. Jabbed at Isaiah Mobley, stepped back quickly, pulled up from the short corner for about a 17-foot clean jumper.
53-51 Sierra Canyon. I believe that was
Stanley's first bucket.
Yes, remarkable, but no time like the present for Stanley to put him in the lead. And we got a foul on the floor.
Yeah, it was like a push from KJ Martin in the backside of Evan Mobley.
Minute 11 left to play in overtime.
Yeah, we're in the bonus now because we've hit the 10.
We've hit the 10 foul
yeah,
mark.
It's like both of them, yeah. So 1 and 1.
1+1. And off the back rim, no good. And the rebound comes off to Sierra Canyon with a 2-point lead and the basketball as we approach the 1 minute mark here in overtime. Washington drives. What's the call? Offensive foul.
Yeah, that's, again, not a... Duane Washington's a much better player than that. I know he's probably saw an angle he wanted to get to the rim. But again, you're up 2 with basically a minute to go. Back it off and don't leave your feet, certainly. So his first real bad decision there with the ball. Again, Montgomery definitely got there. And again, Washington's a better player than that. He knows he'll back it off. You got a minute. There's no shot clock. You can run basically as deep into the possession as you want to, and if they foul you, you're shooting free throws. So again, he'll learn from that mistake, and that's not a mistake we'll see him do in the Big Ten a year from now.
I would think the objective here would be to get the ball in one of the Mobley's hands way up top.
I think right now the objective is just get the game started again.
Very good. Pressure in the backcourt. Montgomery to Knox. Corner, 3-ball for Redfield. He's got it! 54-53, Rancho Christain, 5th 3-point basket by KJ Redfield. 40 seconds left. Sierra Canyon down 1, Pippen with the drive. Oh, a pretty pull-up jumper by Scottie Pippen Jr. gives Sierra Canyon a 55-54 lead. 25 seconds left. Mobley gives it to his brother, Isaiah Mobley. Isaiah, double team coming. They leave an open Montgomery. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound by Knox, tipped into the hands of Sierra Canyon. It's Washington, and Washington is fouled. Frank, they got a good look.
Wide open jumper, and Isaiah Mobley had his hands on it. It looked like Washington ripped it out and pushed the ball up the floor, and so with 7.4 seconds to go, Duane Washington shooting some free throws to kind of give themselves a little bit of a cushion. Should be. I'm sorry. I guess Rancho Christain still wasn't in the bonus.
Right, which is really a more difficult situation for Rancho Christain than it is for Sierra Canyon. Earlier in this run, there was a big-time 3 made by KJ Redfield to give Rancho Christain a brief 54-53 lead, but then Pippen with the little fadeaway jumper from the top of the key is the shot of the game at the moment.
There's good defense by Montgomery right in his grill, and he knocked it in. That's a terrific jumper and pressure situation under pressure defense.
The money ball by Scottie Pippen Jr. I've been told he doesn't like the junior part of it, but it's inevitable when your dad was one of the NBA's greatest players. But I'll tell you, I've been very impressed. This is obviously the first time I've ever seen him play. And he has an all-around game.
Yeah, and again, hadn't really played any game from Sierra Canyon until today. They played Centennial. They hadn't played any other fall league games, according to Coach Chevalier. And played one with Centennial a couple hours before this one, and it's been just terrific in this one as well.
And that one went right down to the wire. They defeated Centennial 67-65 in a game that was close till the final seconds, and so they've gotten their money's worth today, has Sierra Canyon. Inbound with 7.4 seconds left. Obviously, they got a chance to steal or a quick foul, huh?
Yeah, barring a turnover, it's going to be a tough situation for Rancho Christain.
Inbound pass. Oh, that's a dicey one, but it is caught by Stanley. That ball was in the air for a long time.
Yeah, and again, once he got his hands on it, it probably only about 1.3 seconds elapsed, so that's definitely, but again, got to give 2 more fouls before they're at the line.
Pippen gets the ball and gets fouled and flings it over toward Frank Burleson because he knew Frank is a deadly 3-point shooter.
I'm lucky that thing didn't smack me right in the head if it would have been a closer, because I don't have Scottie Pippen type hands in terms of hand quickness.
They still have to foul one more time. Yeah. We're down to 5.3 seconds left, but they still have to commit one more foul. Of course, they're going to try for a steal. Oh, they tried to bounce it off Mobley. He's got it with 2, with 1. The shot no good! And the ball game is over. Oh, my goodness, on the inbound pass. The inbounder for Sierra Canyon didn't have an outlet, so he tried to throw it off the chest of Evan Mobley, who was able to recover the ball inbounds. Had time to drive into the paint, but the shot comes up just off, and the game is over, and Sierra Canyon prevails in a wild one, 55-54. Frank, that was as crazy an ending as we could have imagined.
That was incredible. Evan Mobley with a heads-up play to let the ball bounce and recover, made the great spin move at the foul line, had a point-blank, literally. You can't be more. I mean, he could have dunked that thing, but tried to roll it in, and it just rolled right off the rim.
Outstanding effort by both teams, give and take in the second half, and we are about to be joined by. We're going to give you some looks at what was a tremendous contest where Sierra Canyon finally prevails in the end, 55-54, but great action throughout. Frank, we talked about the amazing athletes on both sides, and we saw a lot of the skill sets here in this one.
And not only the skill set, but obviously offensively, the things that you notice right away. But again, I think the difference throughout the course of the game were the defensive plays of Scottie Pippen and KJ Martin really saved Sierra Canyon.
We're about to be joined by our game MVP, and that would be Scottie Pippen. We're going to get Scottie's headset all ready to rock and roll, and we'll ask him a couple of questions here momentarily. But I'll tell you, we saw a lot of Division I caliber college talent on both sides here, and both sides played as if there was a lot to play for. The intensity was really something.